Hey, Mike Callahan back again, and wanted to make a quick video to show you how to make some amazing estimate documents in Service Autopilot. I know there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of questions about how to make these documents. A lot of people have been posting some previews, but really not letting out the secrets, how to execute an amazing document in Service Autopilot that's going to differentiate you from your competition and close more sales. So what I'm going to do here is give you a step-by-step direction of some of the main parts of estimates here and how to actually execute them in Service Autopilot. So grab a pen and paper, watch it, and we're going to record this. If you want to go back step-by-step how to do this, we're going to show you how to actually do it. So first thing we're going to do is go into CRM settings. This is your document editor. And we're going to go into documents. We're going to create a brand new document for this here. Once this loads up, we're going to add a document. And we're going to select a document type. And the document type is going to be a estimate for you. And we're going to go in and just going to put a test in here for the description. Default this out. When you're doing this, you want to select an estimate email and an estimate document, as well as a confirmation email. So that email for the estimate email is going to be the email that actually goes out when the client selects to click on the link to go to the actual estimate, and the confirmation email is going to be the email that goes out when they actually accept the estimate. So for time's sake, I'm not going to select that, but I'm going to show you actually how to dive in and actually do this here. So as we get in here, there's several elements we're going to actually go in and dive in and look at. It's a drag and drop builder, so I'm going to show you the basics of this here as we go in, and I'm going to pull this up on my screen here so you can see it. And here we go. So we've got the actual estimate document here. To start out, I didn't show the screen, so I'll rewind real quick for you. So you're going to go to CRM settings, where the estimate document lives. We're going to documents. We're going to add a document. We're going to select the document type, which is an estimate. We're going to name it. Throw a description in and the subject. You're going to connect an estimate email. So this is a document that preloads. The client can click on the link inside it and actually open up the estimate. And then there is the confirmation email as well. So you want to create those two documents before you get into this. I'm not going to connect it for time's sake, obviously. And here we go in for the actual document itself. I'm going to pull down the agenda here and hide that so we can actually see this a little bit better. If you have any comments or questions, leave them live here and I'll answer them while I'm here, and watch the recorded version as well. So as we go in here, this is a drag and drop builder. So the first thing we're doing is going to grab some rows. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of rows and create the structure here. And we're going to go in again here. And so the first thing we're going to do here is go in and pull some content in. So I want to pull an image in, and I want to probably pull in some text. And as we go in here, I'm actually going to pull up my other screen here so I can copy and paste some information. So bear with me here. I'm just going to pull up another tab here so I have some data here so I can pull this out, and it's a little bit quicker for us as well. So as that loads, I'm going to go in, and first thing we're going to do is go in and hit browse, and we're going to actually be able to pull up some content here. So we're going to go in and grab the company logo. So I'll just grab the Simple Growth logo as an example. And now that's there. Next thing we're going to do is go in, and let me hop into the other side here, and I want to actually grab a document. So I've got some copy and paste texting available here. So bear with me. Didn't really plan this out, but I wanted to go live with it. So here we go, obviously. So give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to pull up some other things on my other screen here just so I can actually not have to type some things in. I can copy and paste it in. And all right, so I've got some text that's loading on the other side here, and I'm going to hit edit on the other screen so I can pull this text over. And what we're going to do here next is kind of frame this out. So there's going to be the other blocks we're going to add in. So the first thing we're going to do here is create some instructions. So as we pull this up, I actually pulled up the wrong document. So bear with me 2 seconds. I just want to make sure I've got the right document so I can copy and paste some of this data for you here in. So the beauties of going live here, not totally planned out, to be honest with you, but I just thought it was interesting to hopefully get some good data up for you guys here and hopefully show some knowledge. So I've got it right here. Perfect. All right. So I've got some text here I'm going to be able to copy and paste in so we can fly through this and show you the structure. All right, as we go here, so I'm just going to follow my example. So next thing I'm going to do is go in and add some content. So the content here I'm going to pull in is actually a box. So the row here, or the content, is a button. And we're going to go in and type in questions. We answer live on Facebook Messenger. Here. What we can do now is we've got our logo, we've got a clickable button that's going out to an actual link. So what we're going to do here is once we get into that, we're going to go in and take a URL. So if you're using a product like ManyChat, we can go in and paste in the URL. So when they click on this, it actually opens up live in Messenger. So we're going to add that in. It says open a web page. It's going to open up live in Facebook Messenger. So we're going to delete that out. So now we've got 2 blocked columns that are going to literally go in and create the top cell. So right now we want to really look at this, and it really doesn't look that great. So if we click on the top of this here, we have some padding and styling options. So if we go for the background color, we're going to go in and click over here where it says row background color. And we're going to go in and select a color. So we can select multiple colors here, but that's going to be the whole entire background of what this looks like. So I'm going to, obviously I didn't do a color scheme here, but we can go in and say, okay, we really want like a gray color here. Now, obviously those aren't the best colors, but now to give you an idea of the functionality, we can shade that whole color here and lock that in. So we can do content background color or the row background. So that's the whole entire row. So we're going to style that for you. Now that we have that styling started, we're going to go in here and I'm going to add another row. And by clicking this row, I'm going to drag in a whole nother column. And right here, I'm going to drop an image in. I'm going to show you how to an image with a text overlay. So as we go in here, we're going to go in and browse. And as we go in, we might not have any photos we really want. So what we're going to do is search free photos. So SA has gone in and there's stock photos. So I'm going to search in lawn care. There's a ton of photos in here, just a great resource. And as we scroll down, like there's a lot of options that may or may not work. There's one particular I am looking at, and I just pulled it up earlier. So when we type that in, we can click on it and it's going to download it. The one I downloaded just before this call or this live video is this image here. It's a free image that's included in SA. So I'm going to go in and click on this and insert it. And now that I've inserted it, I'm going to click on it. And what I'm going to do is go in and actually create a text overlay. So I'm looking at my screen here and we go in and said, okay, well, we want to create a text overlay here. So how would we actually do that? So we go over to the right hand here and hit apply effects and more. And a lot of people are very unaware of this ability in the document editor. I was honestly unaware of that for several months when it first came out, but now we have the ability to actually do a text overlay. So we're going to go in and hit text and we're going to actually add some text. So we're going to go in and type into that. And I'm going to put in grass is, oh, here we go. We got to double click in here. Grass is always greener when we service your lawn. And what we're going to do here is we got the ability to zoom out and zoom in. So as we're going in here, we can add some spaces and some breaks. to make that work. And we're going to bump that out so that fits right over the fence. We're going to bump this out a little bit so it actually works the way we want it. Now, obviously, this is just an example. You want to take some time, but I'm doing a live video here, obviously. And I have been grinding all afternoon, to be honest with you, after the Send Gym integration webinar we had the other night, and just a huge response. So, you know, bear with me. I am shot, but I wanted to share this out because I thought this was pretty cool. And we can go over here and actually change the color of it if you want as well. So obviously you want to play with that, make it look good. But for this example, I'm just going to leave it in purple. So if that's the way you want, we're going to actually apply it and save it. And now that is live in SA. So now we've done several elements. So we have a logo, we have a clickable button now with a link to our Facebook Messenger that pop up. We recommend using that in Office. Now we have a video, or I mean a image with a text overlay. And the next thing we're going to do here is I scroll over to my screen. I'm going to copy a couple things out. We're going to go in and pull out another row of content. So these are just the elements, obviously, that you can use in your Service Autopilot document editor. So we already got two contents over here. So the next thing we're going to do is pull in a text content of right here. I'm going to actually copy and paste this. So when we type it in here, I've got see why we are not your typical lawn care provider in Rochester, New York. So that's obviously the city I'm living in. You'd want to put it in your city, but make it personal. Talk to them. And then we're going to bump this out to maybe 18. 18 is a little bit high, so maybe we'll go to 16. Looks okay to me. Bold. And that's probably too big. So we're going to go back out here and pull that back out to maybe 14. But you get the idea. You can plug and play with this. And then we're going to actually go in here and embed a video. So what we're going to do here is go into content again and pull out HTML code. So if you go into YouTube and go into the share part, and it'll give you the HTML embed code. It's going to give you a code. So I'm going to hop over here on my other screen and copy and paste some embed code from YouTube. So when I have this HTML code, we click in this, we go in here and highlight it on the right, and we paste our code in. Now you're going to want to take a look at it here, and as you scroll, it says 560 and 315. I've already predetermined that size. If you want to select this here, the 560 or the 315, you can literally delete and add that in and space it how you want. But now we've got a big discrepancy of the size here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to highlight this column again and go to row background color and select that. And now that I've got this here, we're going to go in and brand it again with the gray color across the whole entire background, or maybe the blue color. So it's going to add some style to it and functionality. So now we've got this text here, and it looks a little funky because it's not centered up. So I'm going to bump this out to maybe 18, or maybe even bump it out to 24. But it's still not centered. So we want to click in the cell here, and it's going to come back. And as we scroll down here, it's going to go column 1 and 2. So I'm in column 1, and I want to go to top padding. And I'm just going to start adding some numbers here, or subtracting some numbers. And when you go in here, it's going to allow you, after you hit more options, to add some more time. Actually, it's not working here, so let me take a look at it. There we go. There we go. So I actually had to click into it. But as we add it now, it's going to pull that text down, and you can actually center it. And if you have a little extra room where it's not completely centered, you can hit return. Now we've centered that text. So if we're using block options and padding and different sizes here, we can manipulate the actual document to size out and code it the way you want and make it look. Now, obviously, this is a rough example, and you can go out and code this. But I mean, if you wanted to go and take this and then go, okay, well, I want a white color to stand out on that blue background, that's how you do it. So I'm just trying to give you the basic elements of setting up the document editor and the different ideas how to do that. Now, this YouTube video will play live inside the document editor here. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to actually go in and kind of differentiate yourself and have some social proof. So I'm going to go in and add a text block here. And I'm going to pull over to the other screen here, what we've got. And I'm going to literally copy some text in here and say, hey, see why all your neighbors love our service and why you should trust us too. So really it says, see why so many of your neighbors trust our 100% satisfaction guarantee on all our services. And we're going to go in and bump that out to 20. And I'm going to go in and add another content block here for an image. So what I did is I went into Service Autopilot, dropped all the pins for our lawn mowing services, and took a screenshot, made an image of that. So what we're going to do is go in and grab an image, drop it over here. Now click in the image, hit browse. And I've already uploaded this just for time's sake. But you'll get an idea how you can create some social proof. So we're going to go in and click this, and this is a screenshot of all our lawn mowing accounts for 2018. And obviously, you might want to color this. So just to come back, we can go in and click into the actual column itself. Up above that, if we can grab it, row background color, and maybe we're going to make it gray now. So you see an idea of just the ideas. And then to reinforce the idea of moving this back down, we're going to go back down the row column, more options, top padding, and we're going to knock that down to level it up, and it's not 100% here, so we're going to add a return or two in, straighten it up. So you're starting to get the idea how you can actually customize these documents without having to pay a professional to do it. So I'm just giving you literally the tips and tricks that we figured out the last 3 or 4 years using these type of tools. So you can go out and do it yourself, and obviously if you need a pro, we're here to help you. But this is how we're doing this stuff, and this is what's different, helping us differentiate and dominate our market. So the next thing we want to do is, on top of this social proof, we probably want to add some testimonials. So we're going to go into the rows and we're going to drop a block in here as we scroll down. And as we go in here, we're going to add, if you go into Facebook, we can actually, if you have a testimonial review, there's 3 little dots and you click on it and there's an embed code. And you can copy and paste that. So what we're going to do is add some HTML here. And I'm going to go to my other screen and grab that HTML code from some reviews. And copy that over. And now I'm in that block. And I'm literally on the right-hand side now, I'm pasting that in. And it's amazing. This literally just pops right in. So these are a couple of the reviews from other Service Autopilot members that reviewed Simple Growth. And I'm going to scroll back in and drop some more in here, one more just for an example. And we've got the HTML code. So we've got the original social proof of, hey, see why so many of your neighbors trust us with our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Here they are. And if they're living in this neighborhood, they're probably going to trust us. But there's still going to be a little question. So now we're going to have some social proof of actually reviews off Facebook. We've got this other block here, and I'm going to scroll over and make an example of this one here and copy it and paste it right in here. So we're going to grab the content HTML code and paste it over here. And then we've got one from Carlos. So the next thing we're going to do is, now we've got this great document. We don't have anywhere to put our pricing. So we need to pull this down and bring in the dynamic grid. So under content, we've got dynamic content. And this is where the estimate grid under CRM settings lives. We're going to go in and then select our custom grid. So we're going to use the Simple Growth estimate template. Now that's going to automatically log in. And then we want a place for them to sign and correct a electronic signature. I've got one grid left here. So I'm going to go into content, grab a text grid. And I'm going to basically go in and type in sign and accept below. And I'm going to go in or hit return. I'm going to go into the merge tags and go into client signature. Signature line. There we go. And we're going to add a space in here. And be honest, that's going to look a little funky the way it is. So we really want to make this thing shine. So what we're going to do is go in again, click right above this, and we're going to grab right above it or below it and go into background color again. And we missed that one, so we're going to delete this so it doesn't grab it. Well, we deleted it, so we'll actually redo this again. So we're going to go into text. And this can be finicky once in a while, so you need to have some patience. So we've highlighted this actual color here, the background. And we're going to go to content. Oh, text is already in there now. And we're going to go in. Sign and accept below. And put another space, merge tags. Signature line. Bold that out, bump it up a little bit. And save. And I'm going to show you what this actually looks like in our rough drafts. If there's any questions, anybody watching live, let me know. David Isabel, absolutely burning the midnight oil, brother. I am fried, running on fumes, but I am really dedicated to get to the end of this 2018 season, providing as much content and helping the SA community as possible. So you're right, brother. I am shot, as you can see it now, but I just feel like it's my duty. I want to help people take their life back from their businesses. I did after a long road. So we've got this preview here. We've got the text, the image block, the clickable button, the image with the text overlay. As we scroll down here, we've got, see where we're at the typical provider. We've got the video embedded that plays live in the estimate. We've got some text that's centered here. Obviously, once we see this, we want to actually bump the padding out to left and right, but we can do that. And then we've got our social proof with a picture. And we've got our other social proof with embedded testimonials. And we have our signature line. So this is exactly what it looks like. So when it says simple growth estimate template, that's where the pricing grid is going to be living. So as you're going through and you test it, for some reason, when you go in here and hit close, or actually, my bad, when you close that out, so I actually did just lose that, but basically when you close that out, that estimate grid will actually pump out to the grid. So if you're wondering where the estimate grid is to actually customize that, is to go CRM settings, estimate grid, and this is where it lives. So as we've been setting up probably 5 or 6 service autopilot accounts or overhauling them in deep dives, probably a week right now for the last month. This is one of the biggest questions we have. So we've got the template we've built out, and this is basically a click and customize. So right now we've got service name, estimate, description, amount, and we've got the ability to turn on and off grid lines, subtotals, discounts, tax, grand total. Best practice we've seen for sales conversion is turn these off, because if we have it down here for subtotal, grand total, it will scare the consumer away if we have multiple services listed. So we want to basically toggle these all off, save them. So there's going to be 4 to 5 parts. So we've got our estimate grid, estimate document, estimate email, and estimate acceptance email, as well as the template where everything preloads in. So you want to link those all together. So basically, that is how you go in and customize a service autopilot document. If we have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them live here. And if there's any other people watching this live or recorded, we're also looking at possibly doing a 2-day implementation accelerator. So if you own Service Autopilot, you're looking to buy it, we're going to do a 2-day event in New York sometime in January, limited to probably about 12 to 15 companies. Sitting knee to knee with myself and the Simple Growth team, going out and setting up Service Autopilot for success for 2019. And I'm actually, while I'm on here, I think I'll actually show you what this looks like. So if you bear with me, I'm going to pull up on my other screen. I'll swing it over. We have a document for success. And this is what we've been using for all new people using Service Autopilot as we set this up. And it's been a game changer. And the way we go about this is we talk about how we use it in a service business. So whether it's lawn care or home cleaning, whatever that is, we talk about the trenches that you and I are living in and how we implement it and use it in the software in the day-to-day basis. So it's been absolutely instrumental, I think, for myself as well as the other people we've been helping. So pulling it up here on my other screen just to see if I can get this document up and running. If I can, I'll share it with you. If not, I will finish this up and answer any of the live questions we have. But if you have any questions, how to use Service Autopilot right now, I've got an extra 10 to 15 minutes on my schedule tonight before I shut it down. I'm happy to show you how to use Service Autopilot live right now. So something I've never done, happy to do it. So looks like this document does not want to play nicely here. I'm going to try one more time. And if I can't get it up, we'll end the broadcast if nobody has any questions. But looks like there's 9 or 10 people at least watching here. So if you guys have any questions and want me to answer any questions live, how to use SA, pro tips, whatever, just let me know and we'll rock that out. So. All right, well, it looks like there's no other live questions, so we will wrap this up here in a minute if there's no other questions. And if I can get this live training document up here on my other screen, I'll pull it over. If not, sorry about the delay here at the end, but I want to see if I can provide some value of this here. Other thing, too, is we're talking about this and waiting for this document. Jonathan Potoshnik, co-founder of Service Autopilot, myself, are looking at some regional events coming up here. We've got one in San Diego at Martha Woodward's QDS event in San Diego. We're looking at probably at least 2 or 3 other regional areas outside of my 2-day event that I'm doing with Simple Growth. I'm going to try to do one probably once a month for the next 3 to 4 months to take someone who's new or actually using SA and literally go into creating services, estimate descriptions, invoice description, rate matrix, custom fields, and go through the systematic workflow that you need in Service Autopilot for success. So we want to set up the 10 or maybe 20 screens behind the scenes, and then we're going to train you to the 4 screens of success. That has been very instrumental. A lot of people just signing up with SA or have been using it for years, but just having a hard time. We've been able to go in and take the guesswork out of that. And then you walk out of that 2-day event and go back to your office on Monday, and you're up and running like you've been using this thing for 5 or 6 years with a ton of experience behind you. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If anybody has any questions to that, let me know. Tony Flow, when is the New York event? It's going to be basically in the beginning to middle of January. I'm going to be announcing it here in the next week or so, just after holidays, Tony. So if you're interested, drop me a Facebook message at Simple Growth Systems on Facebook, and we'll get that out to you. Jason Bradfield, how do we add products? All right, great question. Happy to go in and do that too. So we're going to go under scheduling. We're going to go under settings. And we're going to pull in products. And the internet is just absolutely killing me right now. But once this loads in here, we'll be in good shape. So basically, we're going to go to scheduling settings. We've gone to products now, and we're going to add them in. So products are a little bit different than services on the rate matrix. So this is our test account in Simple Growth. We don't have any products. We're going to add a non-inventory product here. So once this loads up, I'll show you some different ways of adding these in. Thank God for the caffeine, boys and girls. Absolute killer day here, but just trying to get this out and make this work for you. And it looks like the internet is just absolutely dogging me here. Let me see if I can refresh this. Definitely not SA, because on my other screen, I'm using another platform here, and this thing is literally stalled out as well. So Spectrum in upstate New York tonight just does not want to work. So Jason, as we're looking at this, I don't want to, the internet's killing me here, but basically I'll send you a private message as well. But we're going to go into scheduling settings, add a product. In the product, we have one less field that we can add than we can on a service level. So it depends on what kind of service you're doing and how you set this up. So basically, if you're doing like fertilization weed control, the product with contracting is just going to be literally the material cost. We don't want to add that budgeted time in there. The product cost and labor cost should be added in on the service level. So non-inventory product here, we add that in. I'm going to use an example of a 1-gallon boxwood shrub. And as we go in here, we're going to go in, and this will have a pre-built, but if there is an error, and I'll basically correct it and show you what's going on here. David Isabel, as this is loading, and I apologize, obviously this is the terror of going live, but I'm rolling with it. David Isabel, is a New York event just if you're a new SA user, or would it be beneficial if you've been using it for a while and want to kick it into overdrive? David, absolutely. So I think if you're a brand new SA user, it'd be beneficial to get it from right off the ground and be successful. But I would say the majority of the, I want to say new installs or revamps we've been doing, and we're doing about like maybe 5 to 6 a week right now. They're existing SA users, and the thing that we have and we find is there's a lot of the dots there, but they're just not connected. So when that's the case, we go in literally from lead acquisition all the way to billing in each step along the way. And we use our preferred workflow. And I'm going to see if this document actually loaded. It'd be a miracle, but here it looks like it is. But basically, we're going to go step by step and show you the preferred workflow. And once that's set up, we're going to standardize it. And your office is going to work 4 to 5 screens each and every day and create a systemized process that is predictable and, most of all, delegating the workflow to your office. And then they can create estimates live online, and you as the business owner manager do not have to be there going out doing 35, 40 estimates a day in the spring and killing yourself. Now the office does it, and then you manage it on a high level. So we're going to kind of get to that Michael Gerber level of working on it and not in it. So that's kind of what we're shooting for. I apologize that I can't really pull this up because the internet's freezing up, but if there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them live here before I shut it down. But the internet just is crushing me right now for some reason on these other platforms. So I'm going to give it one last ditch effort here to open up the document where I can show you the workflow, what we actually go over in the New York event that we're going to be doing. And they're going to be running in basically in parallel to Service Autopilot's on-site events. So they're not going to be competing with them. They're probably just going to be the next level up of advanced implementation and what you can get out of SA. So SA's events, they got a 2 or 3 day event in Dallas, Texas, usually once a month. Great events, been to one of them myself. That's going to give you the foundation, but we really take the foundation and then show you how to execute it on a day-to-day basis as a contractor. So we're not going to only be talking about software functionality, but we're going to be using it as weekly mowing, bi-weekly mowing. If you're in the home cleaning industry, we're talking about weekly, bi-weekly cleaning, deep cleans. So we're going to talk about how the functionality of Service Autopilot is played out in a day-to-day operation in the trenches that we are living in as service business operators. So I'm struggling getting these other things on my screen live. So at this point here, I'm going to probably cut this short if there's no other questions. Jason, definitely drop me a PM. And I'm happy to chat online with you, or anybody else, drop me a PM, and we'll go with it. I mean, this is just the brutal part of live video, but hey, if you're thinking about making your own videos, I'm here struggling live, but I'm still doing it. So first draft is better than no draft. I'm trying to get some content out and talk to people. So Jason, drop me a PM. Absolutely. David Isabel, drop me a PM. I'll get you the details of what we're going to do in the New York event, but we're thinking about doing once a month for at least 3 or 4 months and showing you how to set up SA. So it's going to be limited to maybe 10 or 12 companies. We're going to knee to knee. I'm going to fly Chad from the Simple Growth team in from the Carolinas, and we are just going to get knee to knee with you, crush it out. If you want to join us for a steak dinner at the steakhouse and the hotel, it's a first class event. We're not hanging out at the Hampton Inn like some of the other events we've had. We're going to go in. We're going to sit in a boardroom setting and just go out and crush out some work. So last effort, see if this thing loads on my other screen here. And if not, like I said, we'll probably cut this short. But let me see if I can get a screen share or a screenshot of what we're looking at here, maybe even from my Snagit. Yeah, I don't even have a screenshot of it. So I do apologize if you're hanging out live. I was trying to bring up a flow chart that we use to basically teach SA's workflow and get things set up for you. So like I said, we're going live, just trying to bring some value to you guys. So take a look for it. Probably Monday, I'll make another video live going through that workflow, show you what's going to be live in the New York event. But if you want to be first on the list, let me know. I'll get some pricing together. But it's going to be first come, first serve. Probably 10 to 15 people want to have a very intimate setting and go out and work on your business, crush some things out and get it done. In addition, we just did a one-day event last week with one of Service Autopilot's Elite Academy members and crushed out a lot of stuff. We've got another 2 or 3 gentlemen coming in between now and the new year. So if you're looking at a 2-day event, private, we're also hosting those as well. So as David Isabel said, get some rest. I am going to shut it down, get some sleep. Kids are asleep, wife's asleep, and just trying to bring some value here for everybody. So hope everybody's having a great holiday, and we will see you Monday, Christmas Eve, before we shut it down for a few days. So till then, go out, enjoy the family, enjoy your time, and go out and crush your business goals before the end of 2018.